back to 3-1 lead. But the Generals, who may have gotten off to a shaky start, seem to have settled down somewhat. So 3-1 is certainly not an insurmountable lead at this point. As we are after one period of play, teams coming out for the start of the second. The Belleville Bulls 3, the Oshawa Generals 1. Second period action coming up in the Quinte Sports Center right after this. Belleville Bulls leading the Oshawa Generals 3-1. Just about set to get underway with the second period. Teams come to center. Jack Miller and Jim Patty at the Quinte Sports Center. And the OHL game of the week. Kim, quite happy you could join us this afternoon. Puck is sent down the ice by Oshawa. Daniel Godbout getting chase, number 4, and icing is called against Oshawa. 16-year-old defenseman Daniel Godbout, number 4 for Belleville, comes from Grand Falls, New Brunswick. And he is learning under the tutelage of Scott Boston. That's his defensive partner, who's back on the right point. Bulls with some early period pressure. Sent back, high slot. Godbout deals offside, looking for the deflection off McCarty. Centering attempt. Takes off a skate, and away comes Scott Hollis, number 7 for the Generals. On the left wing and over the line. Boston will tie him up. Loose puck for Scott Hoffman. Make that Matt Hoffman in. Short side shot. And Dreveny made the stop against the post. Into the corner. Upended Jan Binda from Essen, Germany. As we have whistled down, but I'm not sure where they came from as the Generals scored.
I think that's a good one, Jack. I heard a whistle too. I was looking around. I saw no official with a hand up. I think that's a goal.
Matt Hoffman scores it at 54 seconds. And by the sounds of it, somebody has a whistle.
7:21.
12 from 7 and 21. That's the big line doing the work there. That'll be Hoffman getting the goal from Hollis and Benda, and that's really just what the doctor ordered. Not Doc Vaughn, of course, but just what the doctor ordered for the Oshawa Generals. You see they have some heat there. There'll be Hollis working the puck right out in front to Hoffman, who was able to slide it in. And I don't want to make an excuse for the goal, but maybe some of the players on the ice heard a whistle. There seemed to be sort of a pregnant pause, if you will, in the play.
Matt Hoffman gets the goal, his 19th of the year from Hollis and Benda at 54 seconds. Generals are back to it in 1 as they strike early in the second period. And they're in looking for more. Shot right on. Generous rebound, and it's gobbled up by Kevin Brown, number 10. As that pass off, drive stick for Greeny back in the zone. Poor clearing pass, and now Bailey trying to recover. Grimes is up with it, and he taps it to an open wing where Kevin Brown has room. Get over the line, shooting, and it's kicked off the inside of the skate of Brownlee. He gets a break there. Collision in the corner. Grimes is taken down by Green. Generals B.J. McPherson, number 18, away on the south wing. In over the line, passing one right out in front, and Dreveny followed it well and stopped Gillet, and it's on the rebound by Deasley. Deasley behind the net, Generals with the pressure on backhander. Loose in front, golfed away by Grimes to the far boards. Davis turns toward the corner, is hit. Loose puck. Here is Brown in the corner, and they will pile in there as we take another look at last night's Gillette out-of-town scoreboard. Actually, that's this afternoon. Owen Sound 5, Windsor nothing. That is the first period.
Could have used some of that last week.
I guess they could have used all of them last week.
Yes, guy.
At 5. 3-2, Belleville leading this one. Early in the second period. Play broken up at center by Rick Marshall. Now to Donahue at the line. Fraser can't make a play. Campo will pick it up for the Generals. Number 19 for Oshawa. His team coming out very strong here in the second period. Fraser gets it back, then is spun around. Loose puck at the line, and Rob Kingham brings it off the boards. Picked up by Spiro. Spiro to Bradley at center. He'll be intercepted. Kingham will shoot it down, and at the side of the net, Brownlee tries to corral it. Gives chase along the boards, and he's in trouble. There's a chance for Italian with an open net, and he missed his hat trick. He jumped in there as Brownlee was nonchalantly playing the puck behind the net. Italian was having better luck with the goaltender in. Generals 3-on-2. Chance.
Now,
Deasley ties it.
Suddenly the timing has shifted. You get a big save or a lucky break down the other end. And how many times do you see this in the Sportsline highlight reel? You go down the other end, and I'm not going to say a soft goal, but I think it was very stoppable.
Well, it went right underneath Dreveny, who got a piece of it. Now here's Mark Deasley from the slot. Dreveny is obviously screened to an extent.
Yeah, otherwise he wouldn't be down on his knees.
Here's another look at it. Mark Deasley with his 11th. Wrist shot goes right through Greg Dreveny. And I thought I heard it hit his stick before it went in. So the Generals have wiped out a Belleville advantage and back on even terms at 3:02 of the second period.
And maybe a little later on we'll see Greveny's stick, which is a story in itself. He's got it doctored up with all kinds of names, and not all of them make a whole lot of sense, but whatever gets the job done is what matters.
Keep in mind, it's a goaltender we're talking about here. 3-3 score. Back in the General zone. Centering pass by Gretzky. It was missed by McCallion, and then vacates the zone, and Godbout from center will shoot it back in. The assist, they credit it. They say it's deflected by Wade Simpson from Deasley and Arnott. Back to Least at the point. Lost it. Burgess will back him up. Gets a shot away, and it's wide of the net. Here's Shane Antoski. Off the boards around Benda, clearing to Gretzky in center with McCarty. Gretzky to the line, took the shot, and it's off Least and bounces into the corner. Rob Least, number 5, and through the zone. Boston to Brown. Evan Brown with one of Belleville's goals. Taken down on the play. Gretzky maneuvering in. Check back to Preston. His shot on. Rebound. Brownlee snares it.
Boy, what a set of moves by Gretzky. And you saw Brownlee, even though he had the puck looking behind him, to check to make sure that he did, in fact, have the puck. We'll continue with the OHL Game of the Week on the Global Television Network. 3-3 in the second period.
Weaver. Number 20 for the Generals. Gets it over the line. Shot right on. And Greveny steers it to the right wing boards. And played ahead by Brown. This line has had lots cooking for Belleville. Grimes with Brown and Antoski. But now back on a backhand shot by Darryl LaFrance. Stopped by Greveny. And to the near side. Bulls trying to clear. Big Wade Simpson holds it in. Got the shot away. Rebound. LaFrance is in there. Still in there to score. Jason Arnott jumped in on the loose puck. And the Generals take the lead.
Boy, what a change of events here. Suddenly the Generals are in the driver's seat. Young Arnott gets the goal. As mentioned, he was a first-round pick last summer in Kitchener. And really, they have the Bulls' number on this series of plays as the puck is not cleared out of the zone. Everybody gets tied up with each other. And then Arnott comes in and just chips it into the net. And suddenly it's 4-3 for Oshawa with tons of time left. Another look at it, and you'll see that the two Belleville defenders, Preston and number 2, Bailey, get tied up with each other. And it's no problem at all for Arnott to knife it into the net. Now I got to see how Belleville's going to stem this. My party pack or yours?
Oh, I'm sure they're different.
I'm sure they are too.
4-3, favoring the Oshawa Generals. In behind the Belleville net it goes. One handed out in front. Oh. What a snare by Greveny. Who sends Hoffman away, shaking his head.
Now that is the save of the game so far. We're going to remember that one. Let's take a look at it again. You see the Generals really being able to maneuver and buzz around that net. Nice pass out in front. And Hoffman, maybe could have put a little more on it, but it's a reflex thing. You can't really say, should have put a little more on that. And Greveny was up to the task.
What a play by Jan Benda behind the Belleville net as he one-handed the pass out in front to Matt Hoffman. Generals almost had some insurance. 13-10 left, second period. Scott Boston on the boards to McCallion. He'll dish it out. Here's McCarty with Gretzky. Aaron McCarty. In for a shot, and that came right off the crossbar, up and out of play.
You got to like Brownlee's luck at this point. I mean, he hadn't shaded too far to the left side. Gave him all kinds of room. You can see how far out and how far to the left he is there. Gives him basically the whole net. Takes a bit of it away when he swings the blocker, but it does go off the post or the crossbar.
Darren McCarty, who has one of the best flat shots in the league. Let's go with a deceiving wrist shot. And we're going to have a look at Greg Greveny's goaltender stick. Now, which one is he using, Jim?
I can't read that. I know the TPSH means the puck stops here. I can't see the names. He's got a stick with Bugs Bunny and Fred Flintstone. Then he's got names like Belfort, Sawchuk, all the great goalies. Ralphie's name's not on it. He's got another stick with Superman on it and all these superheroes.
McCarty, he's dumped after kind of yelling to the ice as the whistle goes. And the face-off is coming up. Maybe we could try and zoom in a little bit closer, but first we'll take a break. From Belleville's Footy Sports Center, 4-3, the Generals are leading the Belleville Bulls on the OHL Game of the Week.
Okay. All right, let's take a look at that stick again. Again, it's a little difficult to see. Let me see. He-Man, that is the superhero stick. And really, when you're a goaltender, as long as you bring the stick out that has the hole in it plugged, You're all right. He didn't bring out the Bugs Bunny stick. I'm very disappointed.
There have not been a lot of holes in Greg Dreveny's stick this year. He played very well for the Belleville Bulls. Possibly their most valuable player. Off the draw, it escapes the Bulls zone. And back for it, Brian Green, captain of the Generals. His brother Brent played here for years. Bouncing puck out in front. Both were members of the Memorial Cup winning team 2 years ago. Gretzky, the line held up by Grieve. And here's a shot blocked out in front, ends up in the corner. Greg Bailey steers behind the net. Bulls looking for a way out in front. McCarty centers, and in front they score! Brent Gretzky, right place, right time.
Oh, and no mistake about it, as this jam-packed crowd really laps this one up. And we mentioned before that the Bulls have had excellent timing today, and they certainly have it now. They really needed a goal here as they get a turnover real deep in the zone. Nice pass out in front to Gretzky, who simply buries it.
Gretzky was not in the play until he had to be. And believe me, this could be a Longy Whitnauer play of the game. McCarty timed it beautifully. Gretzky played that like a certain guy in the St. Louis Blues who's just there in time for the pass and the quick shot.
Yeah.
And he ties the score for Belleville. And for Brent Gretzky, goal number 34 on the season. And Ephraim Symbolist is back to work again.
Yes, guy. He'd be a real treat first thing in the morning, wouldn't he?
I'd rather never find out, thank you. Actually, there's been mornings I thought I had been him. Centering a chance cut off at the side of the net. Hingan takes his man out on the board. Beasley working away from traffic, then tips it back in the corner for Bradley. Somebody does have a whistle in the stands.
I heard that.
Brown away. Centering it out in front, and Toski couldn't get the shot away. A good job by Kevin Spiro as he had Big Shane Antoski tied up. Hingan lays it in on the boards, and Toski centering it for Grimes. Play broken up. Grimes reaching, but it's within the reach of Brent Brownlee.
And that was the whistle, the right whistle. And I got news for you, Jack. I think it's last goal wins. And if we happen to get a couple of bites, we could be out of here by the time the Variety Telethon starts tonight in Global at 9 o'clock.
Well, it's funny you should mention that, but as we take another look at the opportunities, the Bulls are coming back with the pressure. First it was Oshawa in the period, and now Belleville have tied it up on Gretzky's 34th of the year. Variety Club Telethon on tonight at 9 o'clock on Global. And face off to the right of Brent Brownlee. 4-4 score, 8.5 minutes. In the second period, it has been an eventful second period. 4 goals, 3 by the Generals. Grieve, number 28 for Oshawa, steps right out in front of his net. Marshall at the left point keeps it in. And he is hammered to the board. Crowd yelling for a penalty against Darryl LaFrance. Austin picks it off at center. Comes to the outside, lays it back in off the wall. Out of the net, Brownlee clears to the corner. Austin looking down, and he has some heavy hitting going on. Now breaking away is Arnott on the left wing. Arnott has to get to the forehand. He almost rolled it off the stick into the corner of the net. He gets another chance. It's tipped back. Grieve, one-time shot, deflected right on. That is Drevenyj, and he has the puck. Good action here.
I mentioned earlier the goaltender's nightmare may have been that fluttering puck in the first period. I think it's the game. Oh, well, it's 4-4 here in Belleville. We'll be back right after this timeout.
And the Bulls have been drawing this kind of a crowd through most of the season, particularly on Saturday nights. Take another look at the hit back in the Oshawa zone, because things really start to come from there on in. And the save by Greg Drevenyj, Arnott almost had to go in off the heel of his stick, right there and off the outside of the post. It was almost an excuse me goal.
Yeah, and I know Doc Vaughn would like to increase the seating capacity here, and he would if the economy was a little better. And I just want to mention Oshawa's crowds this year have been about the same, about 3,000, which is very good.
Play is in the Belleville zone, 4-4 score. Curley and Benda meet along the boards, and now they will meet in the face-off circle to the right of Greg Drevenyj. Quiddy Sports Center was built in 1978, and with about 3,000 seating, it's not adequate for the future needs of the city and area, and there's been a lot of talk about increasing the seating to about 5,000. It would be nice. And as you mentioned, Jim, of course, economy has a little something to do with that. Generals win the draw, back to Rob Leescott in front to Benda, tied up immediately, loose puck, rolling in there, backhand shot by Hoffman, Brevity is down, and look at the scramble here.
Boy, Germany certainly had Hoffman's number the last couple of shifts, and you can see tempers are going to start to flare there. Benda's getting involved, and we might not see the end of this. And on that particular play, Brevity sort of pinned there. We don't know if he's hurt or not. The He-Man stick came through big time.
Brevity's slow getting up as the linesmen are trying to separate. I don't want to call them combatants because I don't even think a punch was thrown. But one really scramble in front of the net. These will be the first penalties handed out of the period. That's Drake Bailey. Crowd is really into it this afternoon. They have a wave going, and it's not an easy thing to do in the Sports Center because there aren't many seats in the north and south end.
Even the bull's involved. A waving bull, now that's something.
Well, you've heard of a raging bull?
Nice try.
Belleville version. Off the board, Darren McCarty. Both teams shy a man as we hit the midway point in the game, tied at 4. McCarty with Gretzky. He'll move into shooting position, and he'll let it go just wide. Bouncing puck out to the center ice zone. Godbout to rescue that with some help from Gretzky. Daniel Godbout. Short lead pass for Boston. Turns, it's off the skate of Hollis. Boston will pick it up. Shovels it ahead. Gretzky to McCarty, and it's over his stick just as he was about to enter the Oshawa zone. Poked down into the corner by Scott Hollis. Daniel Godbout taken to the boards by Hoffman. Takes off the check. Makes a play to the far side, and Gretzky there for Belleville. Brent Gretzky coming away with a pass for Boston on the right way. And Boston will dump it down as the Bulls will start to change on the go 1 minute into these penalties. And a 4-4 tie. Stefan Yele out to Rob Lease. Over his stick. McPherson just leaves it. Picked up instead by Rob Kingan. Kingan into the zone. Off the goalpost. Brown centering attempt. It's off his skate. And it will be cleared by Yele to the right side. How many posts and crossbars did the Bulls hit in the period?
I'm going to follow this guy to the lottery booth after the game. He's lucky.
Brown spins away from a check, shovels it out in front, deflected to the line. It came back between the defense. Good action in this one this afternoon. Trevor Burgess out of the corner, cut off by Grimes. Stefan Yele on the boards. Marshall starts down the wall, has it, now has to make a play with it. It's deflected by Burgess and tipped back to Yele. Yele for release. McPherson's behind the defense for the pass. He's offside.
Well, you know what? There is a whistle in the crowd. I heard it about 30 seconds ago, and when I heard that whistle, I didn't know whether it was for real or not.
Out in front off the boards. Boston all the way into the corner, centering it there, and it's caught up between stakes. Kept in by the Bulls, backhanded by Hurley. Wide of the net, Donahue. More Hurley behind the goal. Away from Simpson, he lost the puck. Getting some help from Donahue. Rolls out in front, tipped to the line, picked off. Here's the shot. And Donahue is looking for the redirect from Fraser at the side of the net. Back to Scott Boston. Wrist shot through a screen. Didn't get all the way through. Into the corner. Here's Donahue again. Around Simpson are not doing a good job in front of his net. He had Darren Hurley tied up. In the corner, loose puck. Simpson and Donahue. Here comes Hurley and Benda. And there will be no further play. 7:33 left in the second period. Bulls and the Generals. We are 4-4. And a spirited contest it is. Jack Miller and Jim Taddy at the Quinte Sports Center. 7:33 left in the second period and a 4-4 score. Face off to the right of Brent Brownlee as the Bulls have had the pressure on at him here in the last few minutes. And rolls it there for Bradley. Off his stick, he gets it back. Todd Bradley bouncing puck into the corner. Off the boards for Deasley. Spun around. Donahue chips it off the boards. Quick break by the Bulls. Hurley ran into three. And at the side of the net, tip back for Bradley, who will feed Deasley. And out he comes. Tampa is also on that line. Deasley shot turned away by Brevity. Into the corner. That draws a crowd. Deasley, number 26 for Oshawa. Veteran will drop it back. Godbout takes his man out of the play. Left for Deasley again. Deasley will be taken off the puck from behind. Boston takes his man to the boards. Godbout's in there. And here comes Deasley and everybody else in the rink. In a 4-4 tie. Covering pass for Hollis, broken up by Bailey. chip back, and here comes Darren McCarty, number 19 for the Bulls, with Gretzky to his right. McCallion coming into the play, but McCarty will take the shot. Deflected away, McCallion with 2 goals this afternoon. Taken off the puck by Burgess. And here comes Oshawa with a lead pass for Rob Least. And he'll dump it in. Thought Hollis was going to be in there, but he would have been offside had he been. So that gives the Bulls a chance to bring it up. Here's McCarty again. For Gretzky. His shot right on. Brownlee played it perfectly.
And we get some more rough stuff after the play, and I think this is going to erupt at some point. It's interesting to note, though, right from the start, it's been top line against top line. And really, that might be up to Larry Mavety to have to say in that because it's his home game.
Close up of Brent Gretzky and Brent Brownlee.
Nice sign up on the wall there. Passing along a note of hello to Walter Gretzky. We wish him well. Say hello to the rest of the Gretzky family who are no doubt looking in today. There's that sign. And we certainly do miss Walter.
A familiar face at the Quinte Sports Center for years. Back in the days when Wayne was a part owner, he used to come down for the training camps. Watched Keith here for a year, of course now with Brent. And the fans really do miss him. When he became ill, there was a genuine outpouring of support for Walter and the family. And believe me, it was, Jim. Class act. Whole family is. In behind, Brent Brownlee looking to see who emerges with it. And it will be Wade Simpson. Taken to the boards by McCarty. That seems to be where a lot of the play has maneuvered to now, right along the boards. We're not seeing the open ice chances that we did a little earlier on, but it appeared for a while as if last goal was going to win this thing. Bunted out to center. Spiro off of Yelling. Daly is back as well. To the boards, cleared by McCallion. And here is Kevin Spiro, the Prescott native. Dumps it in from center, and Drebney leaves it for Bailey behind the net. Cleared from McCarty on the right wing. Gretzky's broken on the play, but it's off Simpson's stick, and the pass was never made. Simpson again. To Stefan Yelling. To McPherson behind the defense. And he goes! Down is Drebney. And McPherson waited as long as he could, and then Rick Marshall was on him quickly. McCarty. 14 Grimes. Gets it over the line. Six somersaulting into the Oshawa zone. You wanted a do-si-do, right?
Oh, no, I didn't. No.
Well, you're not getting one.
Good.
4.5 minutes left.
I can't get over last
Grimes and Toski. Grimes missed it, not by much, and then it came off Greaves' stick.
What a great shot that was.
Bulls back with some pressure in the Oshawa zone. That has been cooled down somewhat. Cleared away by Sean Brown. Rick Marshall bats it off the boards. He gets another chance to clear on a delayed offside. Marshall taking his time now has to make a play with it because Generals righted themselves in the center ice zone. Grimes, loose puck, backhander upended. There will be a penalty coming up. Scores on the delayed penalty.
And the place goes wild. Now, we're going to talk to Scott Boston at the end of this period. And I imagine it's going to be just as loud down there. Let's look at it again. And you'll see that the Bulls are able to charge in here and delayed penalty being called, but they don't give up. They pursue the puck, follow it around. Kevin Brown with a spinorama, and he buries it.
He is very good at that. Watch him come in behind. There is not a lot of room. But he will pick it up and hello, right along the crease and in. And a delayed penalty, and the Bulls capitalize to take the lead once again.
And poor Brownlee, the goaltender on the play, sort of had to try and interfere or slow him down from doing just what he did because the defense was basically caught on the play. And we've mentioned right from the start, the timing of the Bulls. Excellent timing here. They come back after sort of squandering their lead. 4 minutes left. They're back on top again.
Kevin Brown, second of the game, and his 20th of the season, coming at make that 15:58. Bulls are leading 5-4. The Generals out of the zone with a lead pass for Beasley. Blue line. 2.5 minutes left in the second period. This is wild as the first one was.
Look at Hoffman.
Hoffman is out at center ice to pick and get him the puck. Picking cherries comes to mind.
Yes.
When you're down by a goal, you do what has to be done.
Well, if they got one here, that'd be mighty big for them.
Bailey up into the air and went off his stick. Hollis can't clear. Carried off the skate of Benda to center. gets loose with Green. Partial 2-on-1. Except Jake Grimes neutralizes the play and finishes his check in the corner.
I think stifle is a better word.
Here is Grimes back in the left wing with Brown. Into the Oshawa zone he goes. Grimes with a shot. Brownlee handles that. And we have 1:49 left in the second period. The lead has been changing hands, and right now it rests with the Belleville Bulls. 5-4 late in the second. 1 minute left in the second period. Offside Oshawa.
Generals have really had a couple of people deep in that offensive zone trying to get a freebie, as it were.
They want this tied before the end of the period as we look over at the Oshawa bench. And B.J. McPherson, Toronto native in his second season. And lots of future OHL stars here for this game this afternoon. Here's McCarty on the left wing. Driving down the boards. Centering out in front. Brownlee cut off the pass. Knocked down in front. Boston had to jump over his stick. Oh, Gretzky picks it off. Picks his way in. Out in front to McCarty. Scores!
Oh,
What a play!
You want to talk about turnovers in the defensive zone at both ends of the rink. Gretzky just pounced on that puck and put enough moves on to peek out the announce booth. And then right in, nice little pass, and it's in the net. And all of a sudden, it's 6-4. Look at this.
I think I just found my Lundy Whitnauer play of the game. It's right there.
Oh! Had more shifts than a transport truck's transmission. I mean, look at that. Watch this. Oh, man, paraphernalia all over the ice. What a play. That's a lot of work for a 5-foot pass.
Darren McCarty with his 38th.
You know what I noticed about Gretzky? When he does that, it just ignites the place. I mean, he's a dazzler. No question about that.
The difference between Brent Gretzky this year and last year is he could have been knocked off the puck a year ago.
Yeah, and I don't think he would have taken charge like that.
The play by McCarty makes it 6-4, and that is Darren McCarty's 38th goal of the season, and it is also his 100th point in the OHL this year. 12.4 seconds left. This has been a great hockey game. Coaches might not like it an awful lot, but from the fans' perspective, it's a dandy. McCarty from Gretzky in Boston at 19:27, and the Bulls, who had a 3-1 lead coming into the period, only to watch the Generals come back with 3 straight. Now it's been their turn. They've scored 3 in a row, and the momentum is with them to finish off the second. And whatever Rick Kornacki told his team that fired them up during the first intermission, of course, he's going to have to repeat that speech in the second intermission. Face-off will be to the right of Greg Drevity. 12 seconds left in the period. Team shy a man. Out at center for Brent Gretzky. Looks for Grimes. Has a little time here, but he can't hang on to the pass. Played in behind. Brownlee with it. As the buzzer goes to signify the end of the second period. What a period it's been. Generals score the first 3. Bulls score the last 3. And as we adjourn to our second intermission, we find ourselves with the same lead for the Belleville Bulls as they had after the first 20 minutes. Namely a 2-goal advantage. Now it's 6-4. As teams cool down, it's been a dandy to this point. No reason to think it won't be in the third. Belleville Bulls 6, Oshawa Generals 4. Back with our second intermission. Through the 1980s and into the 1990s, there's always been a Gretzky associated in the Ontario Hockey League. Wayne Gretzky, just after his playing days, was a part owner of the Belleville Bulls. Then came Keith. He also played in Belleville. And now Brent in his 3rd season. Being a first-round draft pick in the OHL is tough enough, but was it an advantage or a disadvantage because of your last name?
Well, I don't think it was an advantage or a disadvantage. I came in playing, thinking my own role and what I had to do on the ice. A lot of people think it was an advantage because of Wayne and my brother Keith played here. I think that I came in playing by myself, and hopefully that's what everybody thought.
Gretzky's and Belleville go together. Wayne was a part owner of the Bulls for a couple of years. Keith played here for a season. Did that make it a little easier for you to blend in, especially among the fans?
Well, I don't think I came in as an easier task to play here because my brothers were here. Like I said before, I came in playing for myself and for the team. Then the fans, hopefully they took me the way I played, and there's not really any disadvantage or advantage towards that either.
What's it like in other rinks? I know, and sometimes you hear it good.
Other rinks are really bad, especially Cornwall, and they sit right behind the bench. They razz the team, razz myself. I look at it as I look forward to it actually because it makes me play better on the ice.
Are you thick-skinned by nature?
No, you just kind of get used to it, and everybody has to get used to it sometime or other.
Brent, you went through a little extra off-season preparation, getting ready for this year. You went to Los Angeles last year and worked with trainer with the Los Angeles Kings. What was it you did, and how has it helped?
Well, we did a lot of weights and agility work, and we tried to put on weight, and we did succeed. We put on about 10 pounds over the summer, and we really stress agility. As you can see, you said earlier, I don't get knocked around as much on the ice, and hopefully that's what did it.
Is it something that you can improve on further, or because the size you are, there are limits?
Oh, I think anybody can improve on their agility or their stability on the ice. And I don't think it's always just how much they weigh or how big they are.
What's been the biggest improvement in your game? I mean, we know you for offense. For instance, defensively, have you gotten better?
Well, Matt really stresses defensive play on our team, and hopefully I've been coming out doing my job, and not too much goalie could ask for is their players come back to help them.
When you play wing for Brent Gretzky, how do you have to change your game to make the most out of his?
Well, Fritz is a good offensive player, and just basically fill the space up and go to the net, and the puck will be there for you. Just get open and just give him that out on the wing, and just basically let Brent do his thing, and you're going to get the puck. Just go hard to the net.
You've never been, on a number one offensive line over the years. Now you are. Has it made a difference in your game?
Oh, definitely. It's the best offensive production career of my OHL career, and Brent has a lot to do with it. Obviously, it's pretty easy playing with Brent, getting the points, because you're always going to get that perfect pass out front, and all you got to do is finish, and which isn't very difficult most of the time.
As someone who has played alongside Brent for pretty well 3 seasons now, have you noticed much of a change in his game?
Well, Brent, the big thing with Brent is from his first year is that he's probably gained about 15 to 20 pounds. But that's about it. He's grown a little, but you can see out on the ice, he hasn't getting knocked around as much these days. His passes are always as good as they have been. He's just getting a lot of time to play this year. As you can see, he's probably on the ice second most next to Scott Boston, but he's a great guy to play with. He's always in the open. He's got great eyes for the ice, and he seems to get you the puck wherever you are.
Do you look for him more, perhaps, than you did in the early going, just because you're more comfortable with him?
Yeah, well, playing 3 years with somebody, it's pretty easy to know their mind thinking, and you sort of blend in together. The big thing I notice is when we're short-handed, all I have to do is get the puck in the corner and throw it up the middle, because he's usually hanging out by the red line, and he's so quick to get up there. He's usually got a breakaway, and he's got a lot of short-handed goals this year. But he's just, wherever he is, he always lets you know where he is, either by whistling or calling out or something, and he's got the puck, and he's hard to get away from.
You had a rough time earlier this season, as your entire family did. Your father, Walter, had the brain aneurysm, and all things point to a pretty good recovery. What's the latest on your dad?
He's doing really well. I talk to him every night, and he's the only problem is he has short-term memory, which is going to be normal, hopefully really quick. And I just like to take this time. He should be watching the game. Say hi to him, and I'll see you soon.
When you came back after spending time with your dad when all of that happened, you seem to be a stronger player. Something about the family unity that helped you improve?
Yeah, I think so. Plus, I was off for a couple of weeks, so it took me about a week or two to get back into really good shape. And there was a lot of help by the team and the players themselves, especially my line mates. And ever since then, we really clicked.
The contribution of Wayne Gretzky and Keith Gretzky and Brent Gretzky has been well noted in this piece. Walter Gretzky's presence at the Quinte Sports Center has been something that many fans look forward to game after game. And believe me, the fans in Belleville look forward to seeing Walter again in the near future.
Welcome back to the Quinte Sports Center. As we continue on with our second intermission, we talk all the time about OHL players expanding their horizons. Well, what about the league? It may return to Toronto. Rick Hodge has some thoughts on that with Hodgepodge. Rick?
Does the Ontario Hockey League need Toronto to survive? Well, it's been doing pretty well without the Marlies of Maple Leaf Gardens for the past few years, but I would really like to see a team back at the Gardens in what I call the Big Smoke. against Toronto. Now, I don't recall the OHL having a higher profile than it did last year when Eric Lindros was playing in Oshawa. The reason for that, you've got a marquee player, and the media, especially the Toronto media, becomes very, very aware. It heightens the awareness right across the province. Right now, we apparently have Wayne Gretzky and John Candy investigating the possibilities of bringing junior hockey, not just back to Toronto, but back to Maple Leaf Gardens. That's a big ticket. I don't know if you can fill that place with junior hockey, but certainly what these two do is bring some Hollywood and some razzle-dazzle to sport, and that's the thing. Entertainment and sport are just about synonymous these days. We saw that when these two hooked up with Bruce McNall and bought the Toronto Argonauts. Now, the Argonauts were struggling. They've got a high profile now. As a matter of fact, the profile of the entire Canadian Football League has been raised just because these three got involved with the Argonauts here in Toronto. What they've done was bring that entertainment value into it. It's helped the CFL because it's raised the price tag of, well, the Calgary Stampeders, for example, the Ottawa Rough Riders, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats are for sale for $3 million right now. I remember Dave Gardner, who used to play with the Marlies, telling me that when he was on that line, that great line with Steve Shutt and Bill Harris, they would play at Maple Leaf Gardens, 16-year-old kids in front of 15,000 people. And you think about that. Maple Leaf Gardens, you're 16 years old, you got 15,000 people watching you. You can't tell me that you bring in players from Sault Ste. Marie or Sudbury, Kingston or Belleville to play at the Gardens. That wouldn't be the thrill of a lifetime. Maple Leaf Gardens is still a hockey shrine in this province, and besides, you've got the best of both worlds here. You've got a team in Toronto, and you've got a team everybody loves to hate.
Thank you very much, Rick. The third period just around the corner as the OHL Game of the Week continues on the Global Television Network.